Well, I've got some really good news for you today. I mean, have you all heard the latest from YouGov? It's absolutely brilliant. They've just dropped their first MRP mega poll since June, and it's got everyone buzzing apparently because Nigel Farage is on track to become Britain's next Prime Minister. The MRP polls are super accurate too, with a whopping 13,000 people in the sample compared, of course, to the usual 2,000. So it is much more, or surely much more representative of the whole of the country rather than a very, very small poll. But this also means they apparently can really get into the nitty-gritty and predict these seat-by-seat outcomes. And if you look at this picture, you can see just how good it will be for reform and hopefully us as a country as well. But anyway, apparently this morning YouGov forecast that Farage is set to be the next Prime Minister, though unfortunately he might just miss out on an overall majority. And Reform is predicted to snag 311 seats in the election if the election were held tomorrow, just 14 short of that majority, which hopefully, of course, within the 3.5, 4 years until there is an election, he can hopefully, let's just say, get that over the line. But anyway, this is a massive leap from 3 months ago when they were 55 seats behind. So just imagine what 4 years can do, eh? Meanwhile, of course, Labour is taking a bit of a hit, shall we say, because they're expected to win only 144 seats, which apparently is 34 fewer than last time they had a poll. And the Tories, well, they are holding steady with apparently 45 seats despite their poll numbers slipping faster than, I don't know, Keir Starmer's confidence would be, eh? The Lib Dems are also pretty much the same, dropping slightly from 81 to 78 seats. The SNP and Greens and Plaid Cymru are looking at 37, 7 and 6 seats respectively. Even though, of course, this poll is, shall we say, a little bit less rosy for some others, it still shows Farage is heading to number 10, which will be brilliant in my opinion. He even warned that this news would cause a panic among Labour and Tories MPs. Well, there's no surprise there, is there? Surely Labour will now be coming out at Farage directly with all sorts of scare stories, no doubt. But this is, of course, at a time where some parties do have their conferences, and Reform could easily team up with the Conservatives for a Commons majority of 60 seats. Personally, though, I do not think that would be a very good thing to do. The Conservatives have had their day, haven't they? And why would Reform want to team up with them when the Conservatives' popularity has been tanking faster than if your blind date was someone like Vanessa Feltz, I'm guessing, eh? But if Farage lands 306 seats, it would be the biggest seat gain by a British party in one electoral cycle ever, which would be massive news for their history books, wouldn't they? And I'm sure Guinness World Records might, let's just say, take an interest. Although, if it is a hung party, which I'm hoping it wouldn't be, but if it is, Reform might, just might, have to do a deal with the Conservatives. Unless, of course, they do pick another party and kind of give two fingers up to the Conservatives. But Reform apparently would go from just 5 MPs to a staggering 301 in 5 years, smashing Clement Attlee's 1945 record of 239. Some big names like Yvette Cooper, Wes Streeton, Bridget Phillipson, Lisa Nandy and Angela Rayner could be out of a job because, of course, even though Angela Rayner isn't in a position, she is still, as far as I'm aware, an MP. The Tories, though, they might have a little say, shall we call it, in the next government if they were chosen, but at 45 seats, that would be their worst ever defeat. Robert Jenrick, Priti Patel, James Cleverly and Mel Stride are also forecast to lose their seats, and according to Sky News, nearly 60% of Kemi Badenoch's front bench would be out as well. The national vote shares are Reform at 27%, Labour at 21%, the Tories at 17%, Lib Dems at 15% and the Greens at 11%. The SNP are trailing behind, shall we say, at just 3%. So who knows what's going to happen next? It's all quite exciting, isn't it, if this poll does actually come to fruition.